Our marriage vacation turned into her private affair. I left her half naked on the beach. After 5 years of marriage, Evelyn and I decided we needed a break. Not just from work, stress, or the city, but from the growing tension between us. There had been unspoken distance for months. We weren't fighting, but we weren't exactly connecting either. So, we booked a 2-week escape to an upscale seaside resort on a remote stretch of the coast. A place where the sunsets promised serenity and the only background noise would be ocean waves and clinking cocktail glasses. We didn't have children, and we weren't in any rush to start a family. This trip was supposed to be a reset button for our relationship. Just the two of us. No distractions. At least that's what I thought. Things started off fine. The weather was perfect, the scenery breathtaking. But something about Evelyn seemed off. She wasn't fully present. Her phone kept buzzing. She'd zone out during conversations, fidget during dinner, and spend more time adjusting filters on selfies than actually relaxing. Then came the first red flag. The night before we were set to leave, Evelyn came back to our room beaming, holding a boutique shopping bag, the kind that screamed luxury. She practically skipped through the door and announced that she had gotten me a surprise. I was caught off guard. Gift giving wasn't really our thing, especially not extravagant ones. I opened the bag and inside was a designer watch. Sleek, absurdly expensive, and something I definitely hadn't hinted at wanting. Before I could say a word, she smirked and laughed. Okay, it's not for you. It's for my dad. Early anniversary gift. Then she pulled out her phone and started snapping dozens of photos of the watch, arranging it by the window for lighting, posing with it like she was in an ad. She even made me wait 20 minutes before liking the post she was about to schedule. That's when it hit me. This trip wasn't about us at all. It was about content. A year earlier, Evelyn had quit her job in public relations to pursue full-time blogging. She dreamed of becoming an influencer. She had built a following, sure, but not much income. Lately, our conversations were mostly about hashtags, engagement rates, and partnerships that never paid. Everything had become a photo op. Even this vacation. Because of unexpected expenses, namely that overpriced watch, we had to downgrade our hotel package. No meals included, smaller room, fewer amenities. But she didn't seem to care, as long as her curated photos looked luxurious. I tried to enjoy the trip anyway. The beach was stunning, the water warm and clear. But Evelyn, she seemed perpetually distracted. Each night brought a new argument, petty at first but slowly growing uglier. Until eventually we just stopped talking. No more beach walks. No more shared dinners. Just silence. Then came the lies. One night, Evelyn wrapped herself in a towel and announced she was going for a late swim with a friend she had just met. Something about the way she said it made me pause. Who makes random friends on a romantic getaway? And swimming? In a towel? More than once, I noticed she didn't have swimsuit straps on. Was she swimming naked? My gut churned. The next evening, when she said she was heading out again for a swim, I couldn't take it anymore. Minutes after she left, I followed. I headed to the pool empty. I checked the spa, nothing. Then, instinctively, I walked toward the private villas section near the beach, a restricted area for high-paying guests. I wasn't allowed there. But I didn't care. Heard laughter. Not just any laughter. Her laughter. Giddy, flirty, unfiltered. I ducked behind a row of palm trees and peeked through the brush. There she was, Evelyn, in a hammock with a man I'd never seen. They were tangled together, carefree like teenagers sneaking out. She wasn't wearing her towel anymore. I stepped into the clearing, my voice caught somewhere between a growl and a shout. Really? They both froze. The man stumbled out of the hammock, startled, half-naked, trying to explain in broken English. Evelyn scrambled to grab the towel, yelling at him to do something, to say something. He muttered something incoherent and grabbed for her towel to cover himself. I kicked him square in the backside and he tumbled onto the sand. Evelyn, undeterred, stood tall, adjusting her hair with practiced ease, still trying to control the narrative. Vincent, it's not what it looks like. Come on, I was just playing a prank. Love you. It was a joke. A silly joke. She flung the towel at me like that would wipe away what I saw. I looked at her, defiant, half naked, standing beside the man she'd just betrayed me with, and I laughed. Not because it was funny but because it was done. You know what, Evelyn? I said, turning my back. Enjoy your villa. I'll see you in court. I walked away barefoot, leaving her yelling behind me. Back in our room I packed my bags. At first I was ready to leave immediately. But then I thought, why should I be the one to cut my vacation short? I went to the front desk, calmly explained that I'd no longer need a double room, and had it switched to a single. I also asked them to hand Evelyn the return ticket I had booked, with a suggestion that she use it to get back to our apartment. The keys were safely tucked away with me. Later that night, as I sat on the balcony with a cold drink, I heard commotion in the lobby. I looked down and saw Evelyn being escorted out by 2 security guards. One held her suitcase. The other held her wrist. She was yelling about being a blogger, shouting about how she could have promoted the hotel and boosted their brand. She even tried to threaten them with her follower count. They didn't care. She was shoved into a waiting cab and driven off into the dark. I sipped my drink and muttered, "Good riddance." When I got home I filed for divorce. But the case never reached the courtroom. Her father, a man I'd always respected, came to see me privately. He apologized. He offered to return the watch. He asked if we could resolve this without dragging things through the legal system. I agreed. He signed away any claims Evelyn might have made to our shared property, and we dissolved everything quietly. That was the end. I kept the watch, not out of sentiment, but as a reminder of what I'd escaped. And as for Evelyn, she posted a long caption about letting go of toxic energy and rediscovering herself. But I didn't bother reading the comments.